Have you ever dreamed of owning property in a city full of history, culture, and opportunity? Athens, the capital of Greece, is not only famous for its ancient ruins and beautiful lifestyle, but is also becoming one of the most attractive places for real estate investors. The good news is that you do not need to be a millionaire or a seasoned investor to start. In this video, I will show you why Athens is gaining attention, the basics of investing in real estate there, and practical tips that will help you make smart choices as a beginner. By the end, you will understand how to unlock the potential of Athens real estate and take your first steps toward profitable property investing. Let us begin with the simple question, why Athens? Greece has gone through economic challenges in the past, but in recent years, Athens has started to shine as a hotspot for both tourists and investors. Prices are still lower compared to many Western European capitals like Paris or Rome, yet the rental demand is strong thanks to tourism, students, and professionals. For beginners, this combination of affordability and demand makes Athens a unique opportunity. Imagine being able to buy an apartment in a lively neighborhood for a fraction of the cost of a London flat, while still enjoying steady rental income. That is what makes Athens attractive. Now let us talk about the top reasons beginners should consider investing in Athens real estate. The first reason is affordability. The market is still relatively undervalued compared to other European cities. This means your entry cost is lower and you can start with a smaller budget. The second reason is tourism. Millions of visitors arrive in Athens every year, creating strong demand for short-term rentals. Platforms like Airbnb have made it easy for property owners to earn money from tourists looking for unique stays. The third reason is lifestyle. Athens offers sunshine, Mediterranean food, and a lower cost of living, which makes it appealing not only to locals, but also to digital nomads and retirees looking for a better lifestyle. These factors together create a stable foundation for rental income and long-term property appreciation. But before you get too excited, let us go back to the basics. Real estate investing means using your money to buy property with the goal of making a profit. Profit can come from two places: rental income, which is the money tenants pay you each month, and capital appreciation, which is the increase in the property value over time. In Athens, you can find both. For example, if you buy a small apartment near the city centre, you can rent it to students during the academic year and switch to short-term rentals for tourists in the summer. This flexibility is one of the unique advantages of investing in a city like Athens. A key step for beginners is research. Not every neighborhood in Athens is the same. Some areas are highly popular with tourists, like Plaka and Monastiraki, while others attract long-term renters, like Kalathea or Piraeus. As a beginner, you should think about your strategy. Do you want steady, long-term rental income, or do you prefer higher but seasonal income from short-term rentals? For instance, Maria, a first-time investor, chose an apartment near the University of Athens. She wanted stable tenants year-round, and students provided exactly that. On the other hand, George bought a flat near the Acropolis, and while he dealt with seasonal fluctuations, his summer rental rates were high enough to cover the quiet months. Both strategies work, but you need to match the property to your goals. Now let us move to financing, because this is where beginners often feel overwhelmed. In Athens, foreigners can buy property, but financing options may vary. Some buyers use local banks, while others use cash or financing from their home country. For beginners, the important thing is to set a budget and stick to it. Do not overextend yourself. A simple rule is to make sure the rental income covers your main expenses, including mortgage, taxes, and maintenance. For example, if your apartment brings in €800 in rent, but your costs are €700, you are only left with €100 profit. On paper, it looks positive, but in reality, one unexpected repair could erase that profit. Always calculate conservatively and leave room for surprises. Speaking of surprises, beginners should understand the legal process. Greece has specific property laws, taxes, and paperwork that can feel confusing at first. That is why it is wise to work with a local real estate agent, a lawyer, and even a notary to make sure everything is handled correctly. Do not cut corners here. A professional team protects you from costly mistakes. For example, an investor once tried to save money by skipping legal checks and later discovered the property had unpaid taxes. That mistake cost more than what he saved. A little caution at the beginning can save you years of stress later. At this stage, let me pause for a quick reminder. If you are finding these tips helpful and want to continue learning about smart money moves, make sure to subscribe to Financial Freedom Path. I share practical guides to help you achieve financial independence step by step, and subscribing means you will not miss out on the next powerful strategy. Now let us continue our journey through the Athens property market. Another secret beginners should know is the importance of location. In real estate, location is everything, and Athens is no exception. Properties close to metro stations, universities, or tourist attractions tend to rent faster and command higher prices. But that does not mean you should only look in the city centre. Sometimes up-and-coming neighbourhoods offer better deals and stronger future appreciation. For example, Exarchia used to be overlooked, but in recent years it has become popular with younger renters and creatives, pushing property values upward. Beginners who spotted that trend early have already seen their investments grow. Let us also talk about property management. Owning real estate is not just about buying, it is also about managing. Will you handle tenants yourself, or will you hire a property manager? Beginners often underestimate the time and effort required, especially with short-term rentals. Guests expect fast responses and well-maintained apartments. A property management company can handle this for a fee, which might reduce your profit but save you time and stress. For instance, Elena, who lives outside of Greece, bought a small flat in Athens and hired a management company. She earns a bit less, but she enjoys peace of mind knowing her property is in good hands. Think about what works best for your lifestyle. Now let us summarize what we have covered so far. Athens is an attractive real estate market for beginners because of affordability, strong rental demand, and lifestyle appeal. Real estate profits come from rental income and appreciation, and beginners need to decide whether they want short-term or long-term strategies. Financing, legal checks, and location research are critical to success. And finally, property management can make or break your experience, especially if you are not living in Athens full-time. Each of these points builds a roadmap for turning your first investment into a smart, profitable decision. Let us look at one more example to make this real. Imagine you buy a 70 square meter apartment in Koukaki for €120,000. You decide to rent it short-term on Airbnb. During the summer, you charge €80 per night, with an average occupancy of 20 nights a month. That is €1,600 in income. In the winter, your occupancy drops, but you still make around €600. Over the year, you bring in roughly €12,000 to €14,000. After paying taxes, utilities, and maintenance, you might keep €7,000 to €9,000 net. While not a fortune, this steady cash flow plus long-term property appreciation makes it a solid beginner's investment. Compare that to keeping the same money in a savings account earning minimal interest, and the difference is clear. Another angle beginners often overlook is exit strategy. What happens if you want to sell the property later? In Athens, demand from both locals and international buyers means you can usually find a buyer if your property is well located. Think of your investment as part of a bigger financial journey. You might start with one apartment, grow to 2 or 3 over time, and eventually build a small portfolio. Having an exit strategy keeps you flexible and allows you to adapt if your circumstances change. Before we close, let me give you a quick beginner's blueprint for success in Athens real estate. First, do your research and learn the neighborhoods. Second, set a realistic budget and do not overborrow. Third, build a trustworthy local team including an agent and lawyer. Fourth, match the property to your goals, whether short-term or long-term rental. Fifth, plan for management and future exit. These steps might sound simple, but together they create a powerful strategy that even beginners can follow. So here is your action step. If you are serious about real estate investing in Athens, spend the next week researching neighborhoods online. Look at property prices, rental demand, and average returns. You will quickly start to see patterns, and those patterns will guide your decision. Remember, successful investing starts with preparation, not luck. Thank you for watching Financial Freedom Path. If you enjoyed this beginner's guide to real estate in Athens, hit that subscribe button right now. In the next video, we will talk about the most common mistakes beginners make in property investing and how you can avoid them. This way, you can grow your wealth with confidence and avoid costly errors. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and let us continue building your path to financial freedom together.